from Dancing with Ease, Body Brain Balance, and another issue series from the Healing Path. And today I'm really excited that my friend Jessy is going to be here. And I'll bring her on in just a minute, and she can tell you a little bit about her journey to healing and all of the different things that she has learned and how she helps people. Um, the, the series, if you're new to the Healing Path, is a series of conversations with people who are working in different modalities in the area of healing. And the thing is that healing is universal. Our bodies are designed to heal, and there are many, many methods from traditional medicine to more unusual ways, or even just what is kind of called alternative, which can follow like acupuncture, nutrition, massage, but they're all healing. And the whole purpose of them is to help us rebalance our bodies and our systems. So, again, I'm Laura Donnelly from Dancing with Ease, Body Brain Balance, and people hire me to help them move out of pain. And today, this is how we could move out of the pain of poor eating habits. I'm going to bring Jessy on, and she'll tell you more about herself, and we'll hear about her journey. Hey, Jessy, nice to see
Hi,
you.
nice to see you, Laura. How are you?
I am well, and I am so happy to share this. I started out as a dancer,
Mm.
and so food is fuel, and also food as the enemy, and food as something that took on way too much importance in my life, and then food to keep myself healthy. It was a big journey for me. So I'm very excited for you to share your journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you can tell people a little bit about your history and what you do if you want, and uh, some of your, what I guess people call it a biography.
Okay. Yeah, I can start from the very beginning, like kind of like a short description. I'm an electrical engineer from India, grew up in a remote village in India without electricity, running water, or any of the modern, um, the luxuries that we have. So growing up was just, we were content and happy with what we had. I didn't know anything better. But, the professions that I knew about are engineer, doctor, and then teacher, and then some businesses that people do, like a barber and cleaning and all those things people did. Didn't have any other information about professions. And I did not want to be a doctor or a teacher. So I decided I want to be an engineer, and I was determined for that. So I went for it. I took, we call them entrance exams, like here in US it's like SAT. We had like a test, and I got in and successfully completed the engineering. And then in India, parents look for, you know want their children to get married, and mine was an arranged marriage, and my husband is also an engineer. He was doing his master's here in US, and then got a job. That is when he got married. So when I came here in 96, I kind of felt like a kid in a candy store. I didn't have any of these things in India. Cereals, or, Pop Tart and popsicles and ice cream and all these pizza. I never had a chance to taste those things. So it was like I really wanted to enjoy all those things and taste it and feel it. Yeah, within 4 years, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. My body wasn't
Oh
meant to
my.
eat things like that because that's not how my body was created for. We lived in a village where we had to like hunt for foods, kind of like that. We had to go get our veggies and everything from our own property, bring it to mom and cook it and all those things. So that's how my body was, working. Well, with all these choices I had, I didn't know how to pick the right choice. There was
Yeah.
nobody to educate me. There was nothing to know about, because I didn't know who to contact or who would teach me anything, and I didn't know what to learn either. So there wasn't anything to learn because I didn't know there was a need until I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes during my pregnancy. Then I had to go on insulin immediately. That was kind of
Oh,
like
wow.
weird. I just didn't have a transition period or anything. Directly went on insulin because my baby's health was important, right? So I did that. Then second pregnancy came. I had to repeat this, going on insulin.
Oh, wow.
But then I was able to get off insulin and continue my life like everybody else. Nothing affected me as long as I took the medication. Plus, I had asthma growing up all my life, and I was rushed to hospital many times and put on oxygen. And pregnancies, I had to take a nebulizer, and I'm on three inhalers, one for preventive, one for rescue, and one steroid. And I had allergies to pollen and you name it, all the dust and everything. So I had to live on many allergy medications, Benadryl in my hand all the time. Then Zyrtec, even though doctor only allowed me to take one, I took two, one in the morning and one in the night.
Oh, wow.
Then fast forward, I took my master's after coming here. I studied even during my, raising children. I did all those things, and I'm a goal achiever. I want to do things and be successful in life. But then in 2017, I lost my job of 20 plus years, and that kind of put me into a situation where I felt all of a sudden all these years that I put in, nobody is respecting me.
Oh,
Nobody's, I'm not acknowledged. I'm not good enough, smart enough. What am I going to do? All my dreams got shattered, sending children to college and paying off the mortgage and all American dreams that I had. All of a sudden, kind of felt like everything got shattered. I felt like I hit the rock bottom. But I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I believe in praying. I believe in God having a purpose for my life. Otherwise, this marriage would not have happened and I would not have been coming to USA. So I asked God, what do you want me to do? Why did you bring me here? I had a contract with God. If you bring me here, you take care of me. Okay. I don't have any family, no friends, and the husband is totally a stranger. And so I had a contract with God saying that if you're going to let me go to USA, you're going to take care of me. Okay. And I believed God is going to take care of me. That's why I came. And all these things, being a believer, I am believing it and affirming it. It's going to happen. So when this health situation, when this work situation happened, leading up to that, I had lots of stress. My sister back in India who had a cardiac arrest because of some medical complications done by the hospitals. And my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
ah,
And I could not go back to India to visit them either because of some demonetization in India. People told them, don't come, we don't have any cash in our hands, don't come. So I had too much stress. And when I went for my physical, I was put on high blood pressure medication for high blood pressure. And doctor wanted me to put on more medication. I said, give me 1 year. I don't want anything right now. I will just take blood pressure medication because you said it's important to me. And then with the job loss, everything only increased. My sugar started going up and my weight started going up. And I kind of I started applying for jobs, but again, I was rejected in all the job application. Then I said it's not a good time for me to apply because my mindset is not in the right place. It is so that I'm not getting a job, even though I did very good in interview and stuff. So I took a break. I felt like God was telling me it is time to take a break and just love me and just appreciate me as a person rather than just doing all the things for everybody like a family and running after children, doing the work and all those things. So I took a break. I was obedient to whatever I was hearing. Took a break and changed my lifestyle. I had a better perspective about life. I started journaling. I started reading Bible more, and I meditated on scripture and biblical promises that God gave, and started claiming them. The promises I had to claim and believe it. So it took a lot of time to remove my limiting beliefs and get to the state where I could believe what was, in the Bible and stuff. Sometimes when life throws a curveball, we will go through this self doubt and all those things, right? So it took some time, and after 3 months, I was time for me to go to see my doctor again, and my A1C went from 6.4 to 5.4. 3 months. That's all I had, in between. And my doctor took me off of blood pressure medications and reduced my diabetes medications. And the journey started right there because I knew it was possible. When we realize we have a win, we built our self confidence up, right? So that was the starting point. I knew I can do it, and I started studying. Of course, the knowledge is important to do anything in our life, right? We need to learn. So I started taking classes in community college because my background is in engineering. I'm good at math and all those things, but I didn't know anything about nutrition, what food did to my body. I thought I could eat everything and anything like everybody else. And I didn't know why it was not working for me, right?
Right.
So
Well, and also the stress. I think the stress changes how your body processes food.
that's correct. Yeah. Lots of, when you have stress, sometimes you throw up, sometimes you get other manifestation of diseases. And started taking classes, I became more aware about how the system, our body works, and what is the role of nutritious food to improve our health and bring us more energy and focus in our life. So that changed everything in my life, how I looked at food, how I looked at my health. And that time I had more energy than when I was raising children. I used to fall asleep immediately after dinner and lunch, but once my blood sugar normalized, I never felt sleepy after lunch, or I didn't even want to take a nap, even if somebody forced me, I couldn't, because I was good. I didn't need that rest. But I
So
like
what
to go on bed on time and get up early, though. That is different. But yeah,
well, that's a choice. That's a lifestyle choice,
that's
right?
right.
To get enough rest. So what was the first big change you made
I
in your well, for first your lifestyle, you didn't have a choice in the first lifestyle, right? You just got kicked out of your job, but I'm thinking that also I remember when I was commuting, I lived in New York, and I would get up and I would be in a rush, and I was going to be on the boat and the train and everything, and I would grab coffee and a muffin or coffee and a bagel. Not really great food, right? From a fast, little deli diner place, and I would eat on the run. Now I kind of choose to get up and have a slow breakfast and a slow, kind of calm start to my day. It's a very different lifestyle.
Mhm.
So I imagine you were talking about journaling and taking care of yourself. So is there a big thing that you did first?
I started writing down what I ate,
Ah, that's
and I
perfect.
started measuring my blood sugar, because I wanted to see how the food affected my blood sugar.
Wow.
So I am still a piece of research person. I still measure my blood sugar. I want to know how each food affects me, and what I'm doing is helping me or not, because we sometimes I have a different type of food, and I want to see how it affects. I may cook chicken with some cheese, like different Asiago cheese or something like that. Sometimes I fry my chicken. I want to see how it affects my body. If I ate some veggies, how it affects. So I still measure, because I believe in tracking, and I believe success is a game of numbers. If you don't know where you are, you cannot improve anything. So we need to be able to know. Being an engineer, it's a numbers game anyway. I love looking at data points. So I started measuring my weight. At that time, I only knew about that. Until I took my nutrition certification, I didn't know about other parts of the body being measured. Then I started measuring my belly, my thighs, my other parts of the body that will manifest these results. So we are not just a number on a scale. We are humans with other parts, body parts, and other areas that will improve when we improve the lifestyle. So awareness is the key to making any change. So I had to write down what I ate and what was the result of that. The blood sugars, and I even measured blood pressure initially because I was scared that I was eating too much salt. So then I learned salt has nothing to do with the blood pressure, unless you have high BP. Like from a health perspective, once you started losing weight and you have a balanced blood sugar, you need sodium.
Right, to make the
You,
body function,
but
to
yeah,
all of
but
the things that
that's
are
right.
supposed to happen
So
inside of it.
yeah, and you're not like when you're high BP, it's a little different. But when all those normalized, then we need to provide the sodium that we need. That's one of the essential elements that we need to have for
Well,
body's
even
proper functioning. Yeah,
a long time ago in the biblical times, they traded salt as the currency
yeah,
to purchase stuff with. It
yeah,
was so valuable. And I think it's like everything, the the balance, right? The balance
hmm,
of what you put in,
yeah,
protein and vegetables and fruits, and if any of these get out of balance,
that's right.
it changes the balance inside your body.
Yeah, and also every individual is different. We all have a different amounts of insulin resistance, or whatever we have is different because each individual is unique. So we need a test to find out. That's why I say, I measure because I'm not like my husband or my children. Like they have better metabolic rate and their body digests faster than mine. So it's all different. So we all need to figure out what works for us. So that's why diets don't work, because each individual is different. The diets are like a cookie cutter method made for like common people. That's not what we want. We want to educate people to eat for their body, their liking, and their metabolism, and their insulin resistance, and other things, how their body responds. People have food allergy, people have intestinal issues. There's a lot of things, that we need to think about. Yeah, so awareness is the key first, and then we can make good changes when we know. I say thoughts, feelings, and choices. That's how sequence work. Once we think about something, we feel that in our body, and then we make the choice. So I wanted to make that change in my life. That was my thought. Then I started feeling, I started thinking about how would I feel if I didn't have this diabetes or any of the sicknesses, right? I was just getting onto more and more medicine. I just didn't want it.
No, and I think that that is a challenge. Like a lot of times we have many specialist doctors here, and if you have chest pain, they send you to a heart doctor, and so they give you heart medicine. Then if that heart medicine upsets your stomach, you go to an internist, and the internist says, "Oh, you're having an upset stomach. We're going to give you this medicine." And then maybe that stomach medicine gives you a headache.
You're
And,
so
you know,
right.
and all of a sudden nobody's looking at the whole of you. And as you have said, like I like to kind of sometimes I think about each person as a one, they have their own chemistry, their own body
Mhm.
chemistry. And the other thing is like they're like a planet, and my planet is not your planet. And the very best food for you might give me hives.
That's right. So,
You
so
know,
I tell in my program there is no deprivation, but of course we need to be in control of what we put in our mouth and what you know No deprivation doesn't mean you just put stuff into your mouth, and but we need to be aware of how it affects our body. So mindfulness had a big part in my life because after I lost job, of course I found a job, and that place is a hospital, university. So they offer a lot of programs that I can participate in. One of the things I did is a mindfulness class that really helped me to talk to my body, understand my body's functions, and how my body talks to me. I could listen to my body when my body say, like whether I'm hungry or full, what I need is a water or do I need something else. I could talk to my body and understand the feelings my body had. So that was a very big part in my journey, learning to communicate and learning to scan my body and understand what is going on within me. And, yeah, that was really good class. And all those contributed to who I am now and how I evolved from engineering to learning nutrition because I want to help others. There are plenty of people, engineers and IT people, who sit at a desk and do not know how to make that small changes.
Well, and also a lot of times when you work in a big office, they they bring donuts on Friday,
Oh, yeah.
and they bring cake and cookies for people's birthday. And one place I worked, they were always bringing salty and crunchy things, and in a way, they were encouraging stress eating, you know, and and so I would take some fruit, because who I am, but nobody would eat the fruit. And the fruit took longer to eat, right? Because you had to peel the orange, or then you had the banana peel, which kind of like stunk up the whole office. And I was like, I'm like, but this other stuff is not good for you. But they make it so fast and easy to eat the other stuff.
So let me tell you how it affected me. I wanted to show everybody that I'm a healthy eater. So I didn't pick the donut, or we call them sput nut. We had a special potato donut people would bring. I love them, So I just wanted to show that I'm not like, sometimes I don't even take it. But then later on I will go pick one, bring it to my office, sit there, and slowly I'll tell myself, do I need to eat it or take it home? Then I'll tell myself, it's okay to just eat. So much self talk. And finally, I eat it. And I felt I'm authentic. I'm just saying the truth that I did to myself, how I behaved to the cake and the donuts and all the things that came to work. And after Halloween, candies get dumped in our on our coffee room, coffee
Right.
break room, and I would go take and put it in my hide it in my drawer so that I can eat it later. Now it doesn't happen. Now I have a bigger self talk to me than that.
Well, also one thing that I realized in my journey with food and stuff is if I have something sweet in the morning, like with coffee and something sweet, then suddenly my body wants that every
More.
day at that time. But and the other thing I learned about myself is that usually I start to have low energy and I want something like sugar, sweet, fast energy, but that zips you up and drops you down. Then I'm more tired after that. And I realized if I had a certain amount of protein in my diet more consistently, my energy stayed more consistent, and I wasn't attracted to the sweet things as much, which was just, I was kind of really at first very surprised by that.
Yeah, even now, even if it's a tiny bit of chocolate or something, sometimes my husband brings to me. Once I start that taste in my mouth, I want more and more. The sweetness has such an effect that we will want to have more, even though I don't like the taste on my tongue. Even though, but my mind says I want more, which is no fun, especially when you are determined not to do it.
Right.
It is a lot of self-talk to get you out of that desire. So I always tell my family, I don't want it. It's okay, or let's do like a 90% dark chocolate. I'm okay with it. I enjoy the bitterness, so it's fine.
Me too. That's my favorite. Well, so you did talk about mindfulness and mindful training and teaching yourself to listen to your body. And I know you have a challenge coming up.
Yeah,
You put it on
yeah.
here.
I am offering a free program to anyone who wants to improve their relationship with food. This is not about weight loss, but people do lose weight 1 to 3 pounds. I had in the 5 days from the previous client, previous challenges, people lost up to 3 pounds. But that's not part of the intention. Intention is to learn about how we can improve the relationship other, how you can enjoy the food that you love and not overeat, and eat for your needs, not like just because chocolate is there you're eating, rather than you plan and eat chocolate later, like it's Friday, I don't- you know I want to eat some chocolate, something like that. I call it planned indulgences. That's okay. I'm not saying, but we all need to understand what we are eating. We don't even pay attention to the food we eat. We just eat it, right? After eating, when the fork hits the plate and there is nothing more, is what sometimes we will realize, oh, the food plate is over. Or if we're eating chips from the bag and watching TV, we won't even know when it's over. We always feel the empty bag, and then is what we realize it's all gone. So, eating with intention, eating to nourish your body, and understanding what you're putting in your mouth and feel the feelings with it. That's all about mindful eating. Teaching people to improve the relationship with food so that they can make better choices.
It sounds really, really good. And the link is the sign up link. And I will put that in the comments of the videos afterwards. So in case you can't write it down fast enough, you can still get it. And the idea that you could um, pay attention, you know, when I eat this, does it make me sleepy? When I eat this, I love coffee. Okay, I just love coffee.
Me too. Me too.
And sometimes I usually try to drink it in the morning, but every once in a while I'll have a coffee in the afternoon. And then I have this just giant wave of well-being, and happiness. And I'm like, oh, that's the coffee.
Yeah, I love my 3 p.m. coffee. Yeah, I
It's
enjoy it. It gives me a feeling of happiness because that's how we used to do it in India. So it just brings back like my memories and things like that. Just yeah, put me back into that
that that
energized
that
world.
place and that happiness. I first started the afternoon coffee when I was staying in Italy for 6 months with a composer friend, and we were doing a lot of performing, and so it was a cultural tradition to go. Actually, you take a little nap after lunch, then you would get up and go and have coffee, and then you would work another
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 hours, and then have a late dinner.
Hmm.
And so I think part of the afternoon coffee too is like just a physical memory and connection
You're right.
to that happy time for
Yep.
me. And also
That is that is
sweetness.
similar to in India. My parents also had lunch, took a nap, had a coffee or tea, and then dinner was at like a 9 o'clock in the night.
Right, right. Because in a way, you woke up from your nap, you had the coffee, and you started all over again the day. And so there's a lot about that I really like. But so the and food is a journey, right? We
Yeah,
can't live without food, but we can live so much better if we nourish our bodies with what we eat instead of abusing our bodies with what we eat.
that is so right. Yeah. Food can
Yeah,
heal. Our body is built to heal. Our body can think about a cut, how fast it heals, and small things, cuts and bruises and all heals so fast. But if we allow our body to heal, it heals fast. But we need to nourish it with better food and better choices so it has a an opportunity to heal. So this is a journey, like you said, life is a journey. Think of, but we need to take that first step in order to climb that big stairs in front of us. Like think about the rungs on a ladder. You cannot just climb to the top rung without climbing the little steps. So I call it small, simple steps to the top.
And that's I we had so much fun talking when we first met, and part of this is also any change you want to make in your life, whether it's an attitude change, a behavioral change, uh, to move out of pain. A lot of times, I think people don't realize that the foods they eat are causing them pain. They could have not a complete allergy to something, but an intolerance for a
Mm-hmm.
certain kind of food. And then if they eat that, they don't feel so good, and then they don't feel good, so then they eat something else, and then they eat something else. And the thing I notice is when I make my own food, right? If I we grow a lot of vegetables. My husband is a really good gardener, and when I eat the foods that we grew, my body is happy, you know. And so step by step to make an adjustment. And I think I'll probably and I think I'm mindful eating, and you said you wrote down everything like a food journal. It's I've done that several times in my life. I first did it with a nutritionist because I was dancing and I told her I just feel puny. Well, wait till I tell you what I did. I cut out some meat calories and substituted sugar calories. So the calories were the same, right? But the food value was not the same at all. Oh, she was so funny, and she was like, "You did what? Write down
Yeah,
everything you eat.
that's
Write down the time you eat. Write down what you eat at
mm-hmm.
what time,
That's
and
right.
the amounts." And she said, "As soon as we have this, we will be able to like make small changes one at a time." And I think the
Yeah,
first change I think she suggested was have a salad every day. Not just every other day or twice a
yeah,
week or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Have a
yeah.
salad every day, and I still feel better when I do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. That another thing is like a salad is like a volume food. It takes time to chew the food rather than like a sandwich means you can just put it in the mouth and it's gone in a you don't take time to eat, right? So that is something that I do myself so that I can sit down and eat. It takes time to eat. It's okay. I I don't mind spending time on eating that because that's to nourish my body, right? Yeah.
Right, right.
That is
Well, it's just been lovely talking to you, Jesse. I really appreciate your knowledge and your journey, and how like how happy you look, how happy your body looks, in terms of your skin and
yeah.
everything. And
And one thing I forgot to tell is that I had edema that is gone. My allergies are gone. I mean, I still have medication with me, but the major part of my allergies are gone. And also my asthma medications, I'm off of all of it. That is amazing. That saves me ton of money because asthma medicines are very expensive.
right,
And I don't need any more blood pressure medication or acid reflux is gone. Lots of healing. I had plantar fasciitis on my feet. That's gone. It's just amazing when you stick with it. Body just knows how to respond. Small
right,
things, but it is, I call them micro improvements. But we can all do it. As a children, we fell, got up, fell, got up. That's how we learn to walk. Nothing different. We may fail, but we can get back on and continue this journey, especially when we know how our body responds and what our body likes. We can feed it what it loves.
right. Oh, that's so beautiful. So thank you so much, and thanks everybody for watching. And as I said, I will put the link to the 5-day mindful eating challenge in the comments so that everybody can find out about that. And thank you, Jesse. I look forward to your next visit talking more about food and health and I call it micro healing. You call it micro
Improvements.
improvement. So there we go.
Yeah. I
Thank
also
you.
call them microwave
Oh,
improvements, because when we go to the microwave and heat up tea or something, it takes 2 minutes. Why don't we do something else for 2 minutes instead of staring at the microwave? Why don't we just move your body, do some stretches, Yeah.
while you wait. That's good. That's good. So thank you so much and
Thank you.
take good care.
Thank you.